Hey everyone, so it's time for our actually monthly update. And it's been another very interesting month in crypto. I will start with a couple of news articles that I find interesting. This one was just last week when the report came out that the SEC is not very happy with the filings for the spot ETFs. And obviously, BlackRock was the main one that was applied in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago already. But also, Fidelity is applying another time for a Bitcoin ETF. And there are a bunch of other companies that are already applying for ETFs on Bitcoin, including ARK Invest. So very, very big names are applying for ETFs on Bitcoin one more time, and pretty much the market just shrugged this off. It was no non-event. We had just a quick capitulation for just an hour or so, and then price ripped back up, and we're going to see the price action just in a little bit. But I wanted to kind of emphasize on this, guys. I think it's a snowball effect already, and since the BlackRock announced their filing for the Bitcoin ETF, it's been just really positive news for the industry. And whatever happens from now, I think this is a major catalyst for the market, and it's making me be more and more bullish. I definitely missed the move on the news. There was probably the best buying opportunity of Bitcoin that we might ever have in the coming weeks, even years, honestly, if the bullish scenarios that we're going to look into are going to play out. But definitely, I think this is a major catalyst. And as you can see here, the annual price action. So we've closed already 6 months into the year, and you'll see that we're already 85% up only this year. And you can see the fat green candle that currently we do have. If we look into previous years after a bear market, this one closed at 94%. This was back in 2019. So we still have a bit of a time to go, but definitely I'm starting to flip more and more bullish. And actually, I would need some time, and this is just from the mental side to share something with you guys, because I'm pretty sure you're going to be experiencing similar feelings. If you're too bearish and you've been bearish for so long, it might be hard to flip bullish. But this is the moment where you need to have the plans ready for very bullish scenarios, and also for the bearish scenarios. Of course, we're going to look into those again. And you need to be ready to go in heavier than what you would do in a bear market potentially, because these might be very good setups. I don't want to be following people when that's not the goal here, but I just want to show you that we might need a shift in mentality if you've been a bear for so long that you forgot that you might want to increase your position size and not feel regrets later on if the bull market scenarios play out. Honestly, on the monthly, if we look into this, it might be a little bit early, but as you can see here, the price action has been very, very strong in the past year, exactly, pretty much since the beginning of the year. We've been in this tear. We've broken out of this consolidation, which was pretty much just a month of consolidation right here, which was also the bottom of the cycle. And then it's been just up only with a few corrections. And just a couple of months ago, we had a red month close, but this was just 7% down. And after the rip that we've had, a 40, 20%, and now 11, 12% from May, you see that this is not such a big deal. This correction. So especially with the catalyst, and remember that we didn't only have positive news, and this is what makes me even more bullish. We've gone through banks collapsing, which was obviously good for Bitcoin. We've gone through the SEC trying to sue everybody pretty much. We've gone through now the FUD again rising, that an ETF will not be approved, but the market is just being very strong, and we cannot ignore this. I'm definitely turning more bullish. And if you just look at this monthly close from last month, this has been very, very strong. Like, we've pretty much engulfed all the negative price action from previous month and then some, and we're back at this key level around 30K. And if you go down to the weekly chart, you see that last week was pretty much the most bullish one we've had in quite a few months. And we've pretty much engulfed all this bearishness and choppiness right here with just one swift move. And I think right now we're consolidating, and I think we should be consolidating for a while. And the more we consolidate, actually, this is turning me even more bullish, because usually if you see price action, even just in the last couple of sections, whenever we have a big move and we don't have an immediate correction to the downside, this consolidation has led to another leg up. So just keep this in mind. Now we're going to run through the scenarios, because as I said, I don't want to be just FOMOing people in. We want to be objective here, but I'm definitely getting ready to go heavier if we see a breakout above 30K. Just one thing that I wanted to show you guys also, I'm not a huge fan of this looking in the previous cycles and trying to see, oh, if this is going to happen or not. But as you can see, even if we ignore the COVID crash here, maybe if we go to the monthly, it will be easier to see. So this time around, we've had pretty much this price action without much of a corrections on the way, on the monthly at least. Obviously on the daily, on the weekly, we've had plenty of corrections. But as you can see here, after we broke out of this accumulation, which was much longer than what we had right now from the bear market of 2019, then we had a massive push to the upside, and then we had a few more months of red action. Probably, obviously, COVID played a role into this, but even before COVID, if you can see this, there was quite a lot of months leading to the halving, which I think it was somewhere around here. There was quite a lot of months of just sideways action, and even I would say, bearishness after such a big move up. And these were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive months of green. I think we're seeing something similar. Let's see what's going to happen here. So if we're going to have another push to the upside, so maybe we're somewhere around here, after. So if this was the bear market zone right here, just make this a little bit better so you can see. Let's say this was the key level for the bear market. This was like around 6K back in the day. And then we broke out of it. So imagine we're somewhere around here, somewhere around the 30K is the 6K in this cycle. So we might have another push, and then by the end of the year, we might have a correction. So I think this is quite a probable scenario, but also what happens in the previous cycle, in the previous cycle, so 2 cycles ago, we just consolidated. So this was around $500. Imagine, guys, and these prices are crazy. So again, similar thing. If let's say this area around $400-500 was the bear market. So if you broke above this, means that the bear market was over. You can see that we've had quite a few months here of consolidation and then another leg up. So I think these are the 2 most probable scenarios on the bull side. And if we go back to the weekly and to the the end actually of this chart, you see how this will potentially play out. So let's see this. First, obviously, this area here around 30K, we've been talking about this for quite a while. 32K probably is the top of this range. So let me just mark it somewhere around here. Currently, we are at that level exactly. So we've been banging on this, and my golden rule is the more we test it, obviously, the higher the probability of this breaking out above. So and the next time we see a breakout, I think could be very powerful, because quite a lot of people were sidelined. Me also, I didn't have enough size on Bitcoin somewhere around here. I bought some back at around 28K, but nearly not enough. I didn't buy this retest of 25K. I was hoping for lower. There was quite a bit of FUD at this time. So a lot of people, I think, are in this situation. So if we have a clean breakout here in the coming weeks or even months, I think it won't be one to miss, honestly. And the first target I would see is potentially 36K, somewhere around this area. And we can draw some fips also. I can show you where things line up here perfectly. And then the next probable area, depending on how strong the rally is somewhere around 45, 47K. And if we draw the fips here, just to find some, confluence, if we take this one, for example, to this run, to this low, and you can see that somewhere around this area, again, so obviously this is the first level, but somewhere around this area, 36, 37K, there's some confluence for this FIP. And then the next level here around 47K, you can also see the 200 extension, some confluence. And if we use this one, so from the bottom here to this first leg down and up, you'll be able to see again that it lines up with the 200 here around 38, 37, 38K. So around this area again, first level up. So definitely there's quite a bit of confluence. And if you're looking for targets, I think these make sense. And I can definitely see something like this playing out on the bull side. So first case, I can definitely see quite a bit of a rip here and then a correction, and maybe, you know, prices stabilize somewhere in this area. This would be, I would say, the most bullish scenario. But definitely what you can expect also is tests of this first area, maybe another big green candle, and then I would say a retest. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a retest of this 30K and again consolidation. And then once we're much closer to the halving, we might see potentially another secondary breakout above, let's say, 40K in this case. But I think all of this is a good area to buy. Not the best area, obviously. I've been talking a lot about buying in this area, and everything below 30K is a good buy. I still think that, but also if we see much bigger consolidation, much higher, this could probably also be a very good buying area, especially if all the catalysts play out, or even just one catalyst. Like if we have a approved spot Bitcoin ETF, I think this will bring a huge amount of capital that we were expecting to come from the last cycle, but it never did really. And if this happens now, I think it could be a major catalyst. Okay, so these are the couple of bull market scenarios. I wouldn't expect this to just fly to 60K and never come back. I definitely see this stair stepping up like it's been in the past months. And to be honest, if you go back just for a second on the monthly, you see that we've already had quite a rep. Yes, we had 1 month of correction, but I don't think this is nearly enough for this entire move of 90 almost percent from the beginning of the year. So I would expect maybe another leg up, but then a longer time for consolidation. So just keep this in mind. Don't just get all you're excited and, oh yeah, we're going to all new all-time highs just right. So these are the bull cases. What I see as a bear case could be, first of all, the very bearish case that I see, just going below this area. Let me just draw it down. So this is the pivot low currently around 25K. So if we start going below the 26K area, 25 area, so this is also the 200 weekly moving average, which has been quite significant through this bear market and through the bull market currently rally that we're in. This has played significant level as resistance and support currently. So anything, if we drop below this, I think there are a couple of things that probably are happening. So something major, like probably security commission disapproves the ETFs and then bans a lot of crypto trading on altcoin front, claims their securities, they win the cases, XRP loses the case against the SEC, you know, all kinds of bad catalysts, one after the other. I don't think just one will be enough, but one after the other. If they play out negatively for crypto, I can definitely see prices going back down below these levels. But also, if we still have like a major black swan on the economy, because currently the stock market has been performing very well. And if you can see just for a moment here, the S&P, we've had a perfect retest in just a red week here 2 weeks ago on this 4,300 level. But it's been all green pretty much again from the beginning of the year. It's been all green, and stocks have been very, very strong, and they have kind of, you know, the recession fears and everything just went out of the window very quickly. And the Nasdaq has been even more insane. If you just look at this chart, we're pretty much at all-time highs, almost at all-time highs. So this is not something to underestimate. So if the Fed still decides to raise hikes, or, you know, something breaks in the background that we're not aware, we have a black swan, I definitely think this could also bring crypto below these levels, except of course if this is some kind of catalyst that it's really positive for crypto, like maybe even more bank failures or I don't know, people moving out of the US into China, or I don't know, I'm just obviously speculating here, but definitely these are the two bearish scenarios that I see and the reasons why they could play out. And obviously, if we get back below these levels, we'll be in no man's land. And, probably I would be looking to buy the dip, but then again, we have to evaluate the situations there. And probably I'll be looking to close whatever I've bought here higher below these levels, just to make sure I manage risk properly. And if we get something worse, I'll probably look to manage risk here. And another probable scenario, to be honest, that we've all been waiting for but never played out, is that if we chop around here, and if we retest again this level, so maybe just another chop for a few more months in this area is also quite probable. And honestly, I wouldn't mind it. It wouldn't be easy. It will be quite painful, but it's not easy on these markets to be fully risk on or to have certainty in your positions. But that's the name of the game. So just keep this in mind. I'm also prepared to endure this bearishness or pretty much nothingness, I would say. But this could be hard. If you remember just the last couple of months with this sideways action to the downward channel that we were having here, this wasn't easy. And especially if you were over allocated, or if you wanted to enter a position but there was nothing available and outs were bleeding, just be aware that I think this could still happen. We've seen this there here in the past months. This was also something like this that played out. So if this follows the pattern, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this. I'm perfectly aware and prepared for this, to be honest. As I said, I don't have enough crypto exposure right now, except for some JPEGs that we want to talk a little bit later. So just be aware of this. And I think there will be plenty of opportunities to enter the market. So this is Bitcoin, and obviously 20 minutes later we've covered it because it's the market mover at this moment, and all the narratives have been Bitcoin driven. But Ethereum has been doing quite nicely, I would say. And again, this is the weekly chart. Maybe let's just jump quickly on the monthly. Ethereum hasn't really had a red month. From this pivot low here around 1200, it's been up only. And I wanted to buy this, but every time I was just like, maybe we'll go lower. It's been slightly underperforming Bitcoin in the past few weeks, but I thought it would do worse and it will give me a chance to buy it lower, but it didn't. And I ended up pulling the trigger here around 1600. And you can see the monthly candle here last month, very, very bullish. And right now we are at a key level, at a resistance that if it breaks, honestly, this could play catch up with Bitcoin, because we're going to look into the Bitcoin chart just in a little bit. Also is shaping up for this play. But if we look at this, so last month, Ethereum was up 10% and Bitcoin was up 15, almost 16%. So keep this in mind. I think at some point this could play catch up. And especially if we break this level and if we go down to the daily, for me, the most important level is 2K, honestly, because it's a round emotional number. We've had quite a bit of selling pressure here every time we touched it. We had a fake out here, and the retest of 2K confirmed it as a fake out. So I would expect this to play a significant role as resistance, but also on the lower time frames here, you can see that we're already kind of breaking out above this. So this is mid-range breakout. I didn't take this, but it's a valid setup. I have my entries from here, but if we get a good setup on 2K, I think it will be also quite a good entry point, and I will be adding to my positions. Maybe I'll add here, I need to reevaluate my allocation currently, because I haven't done this in a few weeks. I want to see how much money I want to allocate and be prepared for my bullish scenarios and the amount of money that I want to be investing. So I'll be looking into this closely, but as you can see, even today, the price action is very strong, and we tested this level, but we are not closing below 1900. And this could be an early breakout that you can take for a better risk to reward. So if we say this is the pivot low here, it's just 5% away. And this 2K level is again around 5%. And then probably the next levels, if we just run fib extension here from the most obvious level. And let's see some confluence here. Yeah, probably here around this area, 2500, 2400, probably this could be a good target if the rally has momentum, similar to Bitcoin. And this is not a too bad of a trade also. This is like 27%, not crazy good, but still for 5% risk to have almost 30% potential return, I think this is a pretty good trade. Okay, so this is Ethereum. We're gonna look into some shitcoins now. There's been quite a few old dogs that have been popping. One of them is Litecoin. It has just an insane amount of momentum here, just 30% day, just a few days ago. And while it's been struggling to break above $100, you see that this price action was just annihilated in a day after several months of consolidation and doing nothing below $100. And you can see this red arrow indicates where the halving is. So we're getting quite close. And if the narrative plays out, now is the time. And we actually had a perfect retest here. I didn't take this trade because I don't like the risk to reward here. So even if you caught the bottom of this wick, it's around 23%, 33% here to the lows. And okay, even if this thing rips, and let's say we get 100% from here, which is around $200, which I wouldn't be surprised if we see these levels play out. This is 3-to-1 risk to rewards, but with 30% risk. So I'm not sure that I want to take this, to be honest, on a dinosaur coin that mainly has the narrative of its halving playing out right now and nothing really major for Litecoin. Another one that got resurrected was BCH, so Bitcoin Cash. This one was even wilder. You can see this. Let's just jump to the weekly charts because you gotta see this. So we've got this accumulation range, and out of nowhere, actually out of the bottom of this accumulation, it just shot up like 200-300%. It was an insane rally. So currently around 200% from here, from this area. And it's, I don't see, I haven't read the articles, but I don't really see a reason for this. Probably there was a lot of short of interest. Maybe there's some catalysts. Gotta double check. And if you guys know anything, leave me a comment or something so I know. But yeah, this has been crazy. Honestly, even if I've seen this, this is not even on my watch list, honestly. So I'm not sure that I would have taken this trade anyway, even if I've seen it, because again, it's been just such a massive rally, and again, 30% risk to make 100% here from this breakout out of accumulation. Not sure. Not sure. Okay, so these are the obvious runners. What, there was another one. So also had quite a bit of a run up in the last few weeks, but again, it's mid-range, it's choppy. It's reclaimed this level around here. And if you're looking for setup on SO, I sold my last backs somewhere around $20, if I remember correctly. But I would say a bull market territory for SO would be anything above 27, 28. And if we reclaim this around 22, could be an early entry potentially, depending on how things play out. But you can see here that we have a couple of moving average, 100 and 200 currently as resistance, together with the $20 area. So quite a lot of confluence here. And if you want to be more conservative, I think a retest, let me just draw this. So if we break above this and retest it, I think this here around $22 could be a good entry. And potentially on the weekly, it will be the major breakout of structure here around 22K, as you can see, $22. As you can see, this is the pivot high currently. It's been just trending downwards before that. So if we break this, there could be a shift in the trend, specifically on SO. Last few weeks, I added a bit more magic. Here, we'll go into analysis a bit on the daily, but as you can see, it's been still trending downwards. So definitely not a great look on magic. This is a longer term play for me. This is obviously not a type of play that anyone would want to play. I do have good risk management on this one. It's not a huge position. I like to, in bear markets, accumulate some positions like this and not just wait for the trades. This is a higher fundamental conviction play that I have. It's also playing into the NFT narratives. We've discussed this quite a bit of times. And it's on the Arbitrum ecosystem. So I do believe this is a good play. You can see that it's also retesting again this major consolidation area that it had in its bear market. So I did add a bit more. I've been adding. I'm still down on this position from all my ads. But generally speaking, I just like this, and at some point, I do believe the market will turn bullish and it will start favor outs. But for now, it hasn't been the case, and obviously, as I said, I'm underwater on this one. What could shift here and could bring it a bit more momentum is a major breakout above this level. And again, you can see the confluence with the moving averages here. But probably if we dip lower, I might look to add a bit more, but I'm already quite okay with the size that I have, and now I can afford to be patient. And if we break below 0.6, maybe I'll look to exit this position because that will completely, change the whole narrative and the whole theory that I have about this token to play out. So maybe I'll manage the position below this level. But for now, I'm just holding, and yeah, we'll see if I'll be adding more or not. STG is another play. I just really like this one. Again, it's still in a major downturn. You got a faked breakout here. You can see we reclaimed this area, but now we're back at this. The good thing is that this 0.5 area is still holding. So we're going to see what's going to happen here, but still in a massive bear trend. If we look into the weekly chart, maybe it's been trading upwards, with higher lows here and higher highs, at least in the past, but now it's just, it's just hopium that I'm drinking right now. But, it's been on a downtrend here, but long term, it's been making lower highs, higher lows, sorry. So let's see what's going to happen. This has been having immense growth in users, volume. It's one of the most reputable bridges. We still have plenty of layer 2 solutions that are becoming out on the market. And, I think this will be a major play. It's at $150 million market cap, so pretty small coin. But if this catches legs, it has good diversification, and I do want to hold this fundamentally. And I'm holding it also for a potential layer 0 airdrop. So yeah, I'm stuck with this back, but again, it's one of those plays that I like to accumulate and forget about. GMX also another one. It's been showing some strength, but if you look at the weekly, you can see that obviously it just caught some air after so many weeks of red. Now we're just having a bounce, and let's see how this will play out. Arbitrum is another one that I'm looking into. This is the range I'm looking into. This first reclaim actually wasn't a terrible buy. I think I mentioned to you guys in chat, but potentially around 1.25, I think this will be a trend shift, and I would be maybe looking to that. We'll see how things will be looking at that moment. Optimism has been quite strong also. I exited my position here, but I'm ready to re-enter if I see something interesting cooking. I mentioned Lido in chat. This is again very choppy charts, but back at the key level, the moving averages are here, $2 resistance. So we gotta see what happens. But again, major level here around $2.5. And if you want to catch some early breakouts, and if you believe that we are going for a bull market, something like this, maybe a good entry somewhere in this area. But for me, this has a little bit higher market cap, so I would be looking something into more like Rocket Pool or a very low cap Stather that's currently pumping. I didn't buy enough of this, but yeah, there will be plenty of time. This is like 20 million market cap or something like this, and it's reclaiming back its range, and it just launched on Ethereum staking, so plenty of catalyst. I think I've mentioned to you guys. What else? Render is looking good also. Still holding higher lows here, still holding the 100-day moving average, but still just choppy and indecisive. So we gotta see what this will play out. But it's a higher market cap coin. It's almost close to $1 billion. But again, it's been strong and it has momentum. So maybe as an AI play, this would be my favorite one, although it's not strictly AI. but definitely one that I'm looking closely into. And obviously, when it comes to Ordinals ecosystem that I'm a huge fan of, Ordi has been performing okay. Maybe we see a shift in the trend here. We have a higher low here already, and again, if we break above $7.5, I think it will be a good ad long term. And if we talk about JPEGs for a moment, the market has been obliterated in the past few weeks. The volumes have been going down, especially on ordinals and also on NFTs on Ethereum. Let me just show you this graph. So this one shows the volume by marketplace, and we had a pop here. There were a couple of launches in a day that were very significant and drove a lot of the volume. But as you can see, we've been consolidating here when it comes to volume. And the prices of all ordinal collections have been going down significantly, while the users have been growing. So I think at some point this will have a massive run up, and I've been accumulating some Bitcoin frogs. I have some cheaper collections. I bought some Bitcoin whales currently. They just launched a few days ago. What else? I have some seize control. There's been some controversy there, but I decided to buy one. I have some Bitcoin bears, some Doge punks. So quite a bit of collections. Most of them are much cheaper than the frogs, for example. Frogs are just I'm probably like 50% down on my position. So if you believe in this ecosystem, might be a good entry. And I added one just today. Few that I'm looking to add. Anything nullish. OMB is also, I think, a blue chip in the space. So I'll definitely be looking to add one or two in my portfolio. And yeah, it's been tough, but I think it's one of the best times to buy because I see a lot of development still in the ecosystem, a lot of hype and a core community. And yeah, if you don't want to take this risk, that's fine, but I'll be just keeping you updated on what's going on. And yeah, guys, pretty much that's everything. If you have any questions or anything else you want to discuss, let me know. Maybe I just go through a couple of more tickers because somebody I think mentioned Blur. Blur has also been underperforming. This still drives quite a bit of the NFT volume on Ethereum, which is great. They've been consistently stealing market share. They had a massive unlock, if I remember correctly, or they are going to have a massive unlock. But still, the chart looks very crappy. And I already have one crappy NFT play in my portfolio, which is Magic. So I don't want to be adding one more. But if we break above this 0.45 level, maybe I start changing my opinion. And I think this has a lot of users, and it could be, again, potentially good play. Another one not to be underestimated is Pepe. It's a meme coin, but as you can see, it had a run up, something similar to what we discussed on Bitcoin. If you just ignore that this is Pepe, look at this chart. So it had a consolidation after it had a massive run up. So it had its bear market pretty much here on the back of the trend. It accumulated here for quite a few weeks and then had a rip, broke out, reached a key level here around, I don't even know how many zeros are in this, but there's another key level. And if we had a potential new breakout, I think this could move, and this could be the new Doge, because not sure what the market cap is right now, but it's less than $1 billion. And Dogecoin and Shiba are so pumped. And even in the ecosystem of ordinals, everyone is talking about Pepe, Pepe, Pepe. There are so many collections. So I think definitely this could be the new meme. And it could be the potential new meme play also in altcoins. It got listed on so many exchanges. It already has very good exchange diversification. So don't underestimate the power of a meme. I've done this before. I've done it with Pepe even. So yeah, just putting this on the radar, guys. And obviously, if there's a play, or if I decide to take a position, I'll let everybody know. Cool. So that's everything. And as always, if you have any questions, you know how to find me.